Hello and welcome to the step-by-step beginner tutorial for how to make a basic scrunchie. I'm going to walk you through step-by-step. It's two different rounds, how to add your single crochets around your scrunchie, and then how to do double crochets to get this pretty ruffled look. If you have any questions, please be sure to drop them below, but let's get started. So let's walk step by step through how to make a basic scrunchie with just using two of the basic crochet stitches. So you're gonna need some cotton yarn, a hair tie, and then a hook. I am using a 3.5 millimeter hook. So you're gonna take your yarn and your hair tie, and all you're gonna do is tie your yarn to the hair tie. Simple step. And then I'm going to go over how I hold my yarn. So I wrap it around and hold it with my pinky and ring finger, wrap it around my pointer finger, and then I hold my hair tie between my thumb and my middle finger. You're going to insert your hook, pull through a loop, and chain one. Okay, so we're going to do that again. So insert your hook into the hair tie, pull a loop through, and then chain one by pulling another loop through the loop on your hook. And we're going to chain a second stitch the same way. And then we're just going to work single crochets into the hair tie. So you're going to insert your hook, pull a loop through. You'll have two loops on your hook, and then pull a loop through both those loops. So that's a single crochet. So insert hook, pull loop through, two loops on your hook, wrap your yarn around your hook, and pull through to do your single crochet. You're just going to repeat these single crochets all the way around your scrunchie until it's completely covered. So two loops on hook, yarn over, and pull through those two loops. So you can see as I'm doing single crochets, I'm kind of covering the surface of the scrunchie. We're going to keep doing these single crochets until it's completely covered. So we're going around. I have a space for a couple more single crochets, so I'm just going to show you me doing that. If your project starts to twist a little bit, just twist it back the other way. Looks like I have room for about one more. So I'm going to do one more single crochet and see what it looks like. Looks like maybe another one, and then it should be covered. That tail's getting in the way for me. And we'll do one more just to be safe. Again, we're just trying to cover the hair tie scrunchie so that it doesn't show through the other color. So here's our round of single crochets. So to close the round, you're going to insert your hook into the second braid. So you see there, you're going to insert it through both sides of that second braid. You're going to pull a loop through that braid, and then pull that loop through the first loop on your hook, and that is called a slip stitch. So that's our first round done. So that's single crochets in a slip stitch. So round two, we're going to start by chaining two again. So pull loop through, and then for round two, we are going to be doing double crochets. So we're gonna yarn over. So yarn over is wrapping your yarn around your hook. So yarn over. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull a loop through. You have three loops on your hook. Pull a loop through the first two, yarn over, pull a loop through the second two. So that's a double crochet. So I'll walk you through it again. And we're going to do it into the same stitch. So yarn over into the same stitch we just did our last stitch. We're going to insert our hook, pull a loop through. We have three loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through two, yarn over and pull through two. So that's what we're going to do around. We're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull loop through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that was our first double crochet. So we're going to do it again into the same stitch, yarn over, insert hook, pull loop through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So again, we're doing groups of 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So I'm going to do a couple more stitches just so you can see, but because we're doing 2 stitches in each stitch, it's going to create this ruffled wave effect for the scrunchie that we want. So again, you can see here, I'm doing 2 double crochets in each stitch, and we'll just continue that all the way around, and I will meet you at the end. So here we are. I just finished my last 2 double crochets in the last stitch before that initial chain 2. What we want to do is 1 last double crochet in that same stitch that the chain 2 is coming out of. And then to join, we are going to, let's see, we're going to insert our hook between the chain 2 and the first double crochet. So again, let me show you, there's the chain 2 and the first double crochet. Insert your hook between those 2, pull loop through, and pull that loop through the loop on your hook. So slip stitch to close that round. And then we're just going to extend our loop, and we're going to cut and pull out the end that we're not using. And then our scrunchie is basically finished. So you can see that wave effect that we created by doubling up our stitches. And then last step is we have to secure and weave in our ends. So I'm going to walk you through how I do that. So you're going to take your hook and you're going to go through the stitch next to where you did your slip stitch. And you're going to pull the tail through that stitch. Pull tight. Then you're going to go to the stitch behind the slip stitch and pull the tail through that stitch. And then the rest of this, you can insert your hook wherever you'd like, into whatever loops you like, but you're basically weaving this end in through random loops so that you can hide it and that your project doesn't start to unravel super easily. So I'm just finding random parts of stitches to pull my tail through so that I can hide it. And then once I feel like enough of it is hidden, I'm going to grab my scissors and trim. So that's 1 tail weaved in. I just have to weave in that initial tail from when we tied in. So again, I'm not going through any specific loops. I'm just going through loops near where the tail is at so that it's hidden well. And once I go through probably 4 or 5 spots, I am going to trim the end of the tail so that it stays hidden. So again, trimming the end of my other tail. And here we are, tails and ends are weaved in, and we have a finished scrunchie. You can wear it on your wrist as a bracelet, or you can put it in your hair. You can make these with whatever kind of yarn you want. I just recommend using the recommended hook size that is on your yarn label when you do it. And now we have finished scrunchies. So let me just put one in so you can see what it looks like. There you go. Super cute. Again, you can make these with whatever size yarn you want. I've seen people use like the velvet or the blanket yarn. This is just cotton. You can use acrylic. It's completely up to you. I would just say for your hook size. On your yarn label, there is like a recommended hook size. Just go with that and you should be good. As always, if you have any questions, please be sure to drop them below. Give me a follow on my Instagram, handle is right here, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more tutorials to come. Love y'all.